Okay, we will see if this is working right. All right, so says we're live. You know the drill. Let me see if you can let me know if you can see and hear me okay. Let me know if my fan is too loud. I actually have it on level 3 and because it's still 82 degrees even though it's 10 o'clock right now. I don't know if notifications went out because good lord, I have not done a live since the Derek Dixon thing like almost a month ago. So we are here to talk a little about everything, the new Madea movie, which I've already posted my review about. I haven't watched Divorce Sisters yet, but I know about the action scene because that clip has been circulating. I know about the ups and downs of the episode as a whole because Twitter tells you everything that happened, not to mention my inbox, but um hey, Marlon. Okay, I see somebody in the chat. Like I said, if you're joining in, let me know if you can see and hear me okay. Yes, I got 3 shelves that I need to organize, but my office looks a lot better now. Trust and believe it. So, got my stuff set up. I was thinking maybe like put one of my flags kind of like hanging on the front of one of my shelves because honestly, I felt like that was a better method than putting it on the wall just because I feel like, I don't want to do damage to the wall if I don't have to, but hey, I got maintenance that can come, but then again, it would take a while for them to come fix anything if I mess it up. But yeah, so if you're tuning in, hope you had a great week going into a non-holiday weekend because last week, this time it was all 4th of July. This weekend, it's supposed to be hot as I don't know what in a week full of rain. So yeah. And I have a lot of videos I need to edit and post before Sistas comes back Wednesday. I know a lot of people are like, yo, Beyond the Gates, what happened? Listen. I have not forgotten about Beyond the Gates. I know I'm 4 episodes behind. And the sad part is this was a good week. But here's the thing, though. And this isn't because I'm done with the show. Don't think I'm stopped, reviewing it. It's the fact that, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, the Pokemon card market is hot right now, and that is where I'm making most of my money for the time being. Now, when Sisters comes back, there is a possibility that my channel is going to, boost up again because June was not a good. I'm not going to get into the numbers, but June wasn't a great month monetization wise. I made some money, but not as much as I usually do. eBay made up for the bulk of that. Um, May was an extremely good month due to House of Pain. I don't know why, but I guess because the episodes didn't really center that much on the Laura stuff. So I did okay, but not great last month. And Beyond the Gates, I like my second channel making that extra income, but Beyond the Gates doesn't make Tyler Perry level ad revenue, if I'm being completely honest. And I know that a lot of people review the show. I see people that do TikToks, that do interviews with the cast. So I will say that in terms of Beyond the Gates, I have an audience, but there's more like competition, if you will, with the reviews. But the fact that I do have a good following that enjoy the content, the fact that I go in depth, I do feel bad if I let you down by not having my reviews up consistently this week. But you have to understand, from my perspective, I got to go where the money is. And like I said, this weekend I will do my other reviews. Now, just like before, what was it, that 1 week where I just fell behind? Each episode, what is it, Tuesday through Friday, I will give each episode its own review. I know Ashley Miller and several other people do like weekly recaps where they do one video talking about the entire week. I'm still going to give you one video per review. Did you see Derek speak out? I saw a headline, but I did not click the article. Simply put, I saw the headline or article this morning, but I didn't read it. I didn't click on it because I'm like, nah, I want to go into this new Madea film without thinking about all that. I just want to watch this film. Hopefully it puts me in a good mood. And I've been extremely busy this week. and I'm still behind on a lot of work stuff. But this movie was really good. I think my personal opinion, one of the best Madea films. Um, but yeah, I have not checked out the new Derek thing. But well, then again, let me see if I could pull it up because I forgot last time I did the share screen so I could pull the article up. But somebody said that my screen froze when I did that, which is disappointing because I liked having the article and photos on screen. So let me Google it real quick. I couldn't stay silent anymore. And I forgot the dude's name, but there was another guy who played a minor role in the Oval. He was a Rakadushi. So he was the one that forced Nancy into the compound before she got drugged up and whatnot. Okay, so there is the Hollywood Reporter. Okay, there is a full article on Derek Dixon that came out yesterday. So I will actually, where are my glasses? I just had them. Oh, wait, I think they're right here. No, these are the dirty ones. I got 2 pairs of glasses. Just bear with me. Where did I say? Nah, these will have to do for now. I hate it. Oh man. Oh no, these are my glasses. Give me 1 second. I'm going to skim through this article. Everyone deserves to go to work and do their job without their boss trying to have sex with them. My goal is to help ensure that the next generation of actors and creators don't have to choose between their dreams and their dignity. I feel a bit conflicted by that statement because of the fact that if we're going by the tech, and just to be clear, I am giving my thoughts on the statements in this article. Just like I said in my previous live stream, I don't know these people. I wasn't there. I've never talked to these folks. I'm only going off of what is presented to the public. So just that disclaimer, I'm not victim shaming. I'm not claiming Perry's guilty or Dixon is lying. I don't know. I am reading statements from this article. Wait, actually, let me share the screen. And in the chat, let me know, Jeremy, your video feed is frozen because I want you to see this article as I'm seeing it. So just give me 1 moment. Share screen. Okay, on my end, I'm not frozen, but let me know. Can you see the screen? Like, the article? Just give me a thumbs up, a heart emoji or something in the chat. Let me know what's going on your end. Because on my end, it doesn't look frozen at all. I see everything is functioning properly. Okay, I got thumbs up, so I'm going to assume we're good. I'm just going to read this here. Just let them get away with this. Yeah, so everyone deserves to go to work and do their job without their boss trying to have relations with them. My sure that the next generation of actors choose between their dreams and their dignity. Yet again, I have to say, but Mr. Dixon, if we're going by those text messages, I'm sorry. If I repeat myself multiple times, I instantly think like, what's his name? Dr. Umar Johnson, who says like the same thing 3 times. I just want to put emphasis on this. But if we're going by the text messages that he put those photos up a few weeks ago, it seems to me that, and again, if this did happen, Perry made advances via text and physical encounters on multiple occasions. So the fact that you kept going back, it's like, so what was the deal here? Like the money or your dreams of getting that show produced? I'm just like, again, it's not victim shaming. I'm just trying to see how this statement that he made, where he literally said actors and actors and I have a sensitive mouse. Actors and creatives don't have to choose between their dreams and their dignity. If I'm being here, based off the text messages and that lawsuit where he detailed everything, it seemed to me that his dignity on the back burner for the sake of that check, because I'm just going off what I'm seeing. Article, hang on, I'm just skimming through it. Like most of this stuff we already know. Yeah, the article just talks about, it's kind of a recap of the 40-page lawsuit. At one point, Dixon, who was an out, does that mean he's openly gay? I'm asking for clarification here. Did not know that Perry was interested in men or that he was looking for a physical relationship. About a year after this, in 2020, Perry would announce that he and his longtime girlfriend broke up and they have a 10-year-old son. I'm not going to speak for him or identify sexually, regardless of his orientation. He should not be speaking to any of his employees, whether they, okay, this I do agree with. And if we're going messages, if we're going off the text being real, yeah, I agree. You saw those screenshots and the text messages, regardless as to whether or not you believe Dixon is telling the truth, I wholeheartedly agree that Tyler Perry nor any person in a workplace environment should send such graphic messages to coworkers or employees working under them, because it just seems like an abuse of power and all sorts of stuff. Okay. Yeah, this talks about when they met up and he got at the guest room and Tyler came to bed with him. Yeah, Dixon. The text messages, the complaints. Perry asked him to come to his trailer for a drink. I knew I had to. We were all living at the studio. Yada yada. I thought Dixon said he wasn't. According to the article, because it said that he answered all questions via email, it states that Dixon, who is an out gay man, so I like I said, I don't really know what that means. Based off the, I guess that means he is openly, because out as in out of the closet. Like I said, I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, then it talks about Dale and the text. Yeah, like I said, I'm skimming through this article because most of this stuff I've talked about in the previous live stream, or this article is just kind of recapping his the text messages being forced on him. See, this is the part, the one where Dixon went to Tyler's house, slept in the guest, and then Perry shows up. Hey, come give me a good night hug. And he did. And then from there, Perry forced down his underwear and groped his behind. And after that, I tried to put my drawers back up. He grabbed my wrist from keeping me from doing so, and he thought he was going to get great. I can't say the other word, demonetization. I want this. And he kept going, told me to relax and that he wasn't going to hurt me. And from there, he's like, hey, I can't do anything because I'm hungry. So that's the part that doesn't really. Oh, Erica, I want to type in my name. Oops, sorry, hang on. That's my the Han have and have nots. That's my Instagram user name. Because if, and I'm just speculating here, you know me is what I do. I speculate. If a person was trying to force themselves on you, like they come in, like, hey, give me a hug, force down your pants and your drawers, and but they grab your wrist, like, hey, let it happen. I won't hurt you. And then you're like, hey, I don't want to do anything because I'm hungry. Really think the person who forced your undergarments off is just going to go, let me go get some pizza real quick? That doesn't really add up to me. Like I said, for his, I hope that didn't happen, but it just doesn't seem plausible. And he said once the pizza was delivered, Dixon room, locked himself in the bathroom, and fell asleep on the floor. Then he talks about how he got and filed the lawsuit, the Christian Keys stuff. Okay. Here are the last couple bits of the article I'm going to read because I feel like this sums it up. In the week since his lawsuit in public, he's received a mix of responses from online threats, harassment, to people supporting his story that they have. See, this was the part I'm afraid of. He's gotten stories of other people who have said they had similar experiences with Perry. This is why people, especially men, don't come forward. So that's Dixon came for, like, how many other stories are like this? And I'll get into the more recent story in just a moment. Asked if he attempted to reach a private settlement prior to filing the lawsuit, Dixon said, there are always attempts to resolve situations like this privately, result in the type of change necessary to protect further victims. At the end of the day, my absolute fear is that he will be able to continue doing this without any consequences. Okay, that last part is a bit, actually, give me 1 second. Oops. Sorry about that. And down. Okay. Happened because I don't know. I don't know. But the more recent one, the Oval, not Derek Dixon, but the other guy who played a Rakadushi soldier, saying that what's his name? Is it Mark Swinton? I think it's the other guy's name. Let me get the information. Yeah, Mark Swinton, Braxton Wells, Instagram post. It was like a 24-minute video. I'm not going to go into all the details, but simply put, he claims that Mark Swinton, vice president at TPS, and Tyler covered it up. So I don't know. Honestly, don't know what to believe or what, but yeah, these are trying times, if you will, because I find it interesting that the Hollywood Reporter will put out that Derek day before the new Madea film drops, and I don't know any of the cast or anything have done like a press run for this movie. I think for obvious Tyler Perry is playing it low key. Like, aside from promoting his stuff like this movie and Divorced Sisters on his social media, that's it. Like, he'll post in his stories, he might post on Twitter, but that's pretty much it. Um, since the Madea film came out today, I don't imagine until tomorrow or Sunday is when the movie's going to get a lot of traction. Like, we'll get a report on, hey, here's how well the Madea film did during its first day on Netflix or something. But I don't know. I just feel like situation. It's going to be quite interesting to see how things play out for Tyler Perry. But I think in terms of fans, the only show I'm questioning the future of is The Oval, right? Ruthless and whatnot, I think we're good. I don't think there's anything impacting Sisters coming back next week. So what do your thoughts are? Oh yeah, and if you have seen the Madea film, oh, hold up. Yeah, I got an alert saying that the connection was wonky there for a minute. It looks like we're getting good right now. Should be good. But yeah, just let me know if you saw the Madea film. Let me know if you liked it or not. But I will say this: when Sisters comes on Wednesday, I have no major expectations. I mean, we're coming off, a lengthy hiatus period, and I don't know. I just feel like this is the episode where they're going to be rushing to the hospital, the aftermath of what went down in Gary's office. So I don't think a lot of stuff is going to happen. I bet the cliffhanger is going to be Fatima getting Karen to the hospital. I think it was good. Yeah, I really did think it was a good movie. I really do. Because it was way better than Homecoming. I actually laughed a good amount of times during this particular movie. There were moments throughout the entire one. Oh man. Um, let's see what else is there. Oh yeah, She the People got rebranded as Miss Governor due to the loss. I'm actually low key surprised they didn't do that. Medea going down the water slide. I'm just throwing it out there, but I highly doubt it, but I wonder if the Tyler Perry allegations might have some sort of impact on the Madea film, like in this terms of the success of it. I honestly don't think it will, but it's just an interesting thought. When it comes to the Christian Keys thing, he's to be careful. I've seen BET promoting All the Queen's Men, and who knows if stars would say anything. Oh, you mean like Christian Keys taking like the future of All the Queen's Men to those different platforms? Like that's the thing. And I'm not saying it's like if what he was claiming happened to him was actually Tyler Perry, it's like, is it better to stay where you're allegedly abused and get the success you want, or go to a different platform where you are respected, but you don't get the kind of airplay and whatnot? And because let's be real here, if you have anything that kind of hovers in the realm of Tyler, guaranteed multiple seasons of a show. It's kind of like Papa's House, like Damon Wayans was on CBS and it got one season. But honestly, CBS kind of gave up halfway through because they talked about how budgets and whatnot um, kept going down per episode. So something tells me that if Papa's House was on BET, it might have lasted a couple of seasons. But when you're on these different platforms that aren't really controlled by black people, a black show, unless it's a real hit, isn't going to last that long. Lee Daniels. Yeah, I mean, when he came out with that video in 2023, there was a lot of speculation. I think most people said Tyler, but it was never confirmed. And that's why I never did a video on it, because I wasn't going to attach Tyler Perry's name to something without, facts, or at the very least, allegations or a lawsuit that has been made public. Because I don't really dip my toes in the gossip realm like that. Not to mention, I don't want any smoke for defamation of character. Like, what's her name? Tasha K got sued by Cardi B. But then again, the thing she was saying was very outlandish and very damaging to her reputation. But I do sometimes think about how big my platform is, and it's like, I don't want to be. But see, like with the lawsuit thing, I mean, you got Breakfast Club and a number of humongous platforms talking about it. So, that's why I didn't mind bringing it up. I wish I didn't have to talk about it, but let's be real here. My content is Tyler Perry. So if it makes the news, it is fair game to talk about. I hate it that it's, been brought up, but hey. Well, I mean, technically the last time he worked with Tyler Perry was when he brought All the Queen's Men to Tyler Perry to create. So I guess you mean on screen on stage. The last time they worked together was All the Queen. I mean, Goes to Jail. See, Taylor, that's the thing. For me, I actually enjoyed it. In all honesty, it felt like Madea was a background character. I don't think she played a major role. I believe the main focus was Brian. I like how Tyler played Brian in this movie. He wasn't as whiny and as annoying as in previous films. He was a concerned father. Like, don't get me wrong, there were the moments like, look, I'm a DA, right? And you shouldn't be guns and all this stuff. So yeah, he had those moments, but overall, I liked how this film played out. It felt a bit more serious while you had Madea and Brown and their antics in the background. To me, there was a good balance. That's why I love the film. I know somebody in the comments said that, hey, Jeremy, I enjoyed it, but as you would say, if I had to nitpick, there are a few things. Like, number one, we didn't get like an opening theme song to go with the opening scene of the movie to really get me in the mood. And Tyler didn't do Madea with the deep. Well, Madea didn't do the Tyler voice. So there were little things, people had critiques on. I've seen a couple of people who have been saying like, "Oh, I didn't like it," but overall, most people have been saying they loved it. Marlon, that is an excellent point because there are a lot of hit shows on networks, or no. There are a lot of hit shows on streaming platforms where fans hate having to wait a year or 2 years to get a season two. I think there's this show on Netflix. I don't watch it, but I've seen the memes where the gap between seasons was so long. One of like the male child actors is like a freaking teenager now. And somebody's like, yo, he had glasses as a kid, and they slapped those same crooked glasses on the kid, and he's like 3 feet taller, and it's hilarious. But that's the one thing about Tyler Perry I got to give him credit for. It's the speed in which he puts out new seasons. Hence why Beauty and Black caught people off guard, because they're getting season 2 in just a few weeks. And don't get me wrong, the quality isn't always perfect, but the rate at which he creates this content is astounding. Not always the best, but it is impressive. That's what I feel gives him a leg up compared to these other production studios. Taylor, here's the thing. I don't know exactly what went down, but I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that it wasn't Tyler's fault. I don't believe Tyler himself edits every single thing, because I remember back, I want to say maybe a year or so ago, they did like little videos with like the internship program, and they showed us that there's a whole editing team there. So I feel like whoever was going through the episode in post production didn't catch that moment. However, we did. And that's the sad part, because I don't know if what episode of Divorced Sisters was this? Was it 5? Was it 5? Well, in any case, 5 or 6, whatever episode it was. More people have talked about the Tyler saying action scene than the actual episode itself. So that kind of lets me know the episode might not be that good, but I could be wrong. Thank you, episode 6. Tyler said the movie was just for laughs and there wouldn't be a serious plot. That's the thing, though. It was fun, but I did feel like it was a bit serious because we saw a different side of Brian. That's I'll do a follow-up video probably next week, but that's to me why the movie stood out. Because typically it's like a bunch of random goofiness the entire runtime, but then in the last few minutes they resolve it all. But this movie, I felt Brian's, emotions throughout the entire thing. And that to me is why I enjoyed the film for what it was. Episode 6 was good. Oh, it was a more heavy episode. Yeah, I know Vaughn self-deleted at the end of the episode. So yeah, like I said, Twitter spoiled it for me. Oh yeah, remember there's only 2 episodes left before the show goes on hiatus for the mid-season finale. I gotta check how many other people actually review Divorced Sisters. I mean, my videos do, they do all right. I mean, they're not doing Sisters numbers, but I mean, heck, my Beyond the Gates videos don't even crack 1,000. I mean, I get it. When I post my reviews like days late, they're not going to get the same numbers as if I posted them the same day, but it is what it is. Like I said, I am going to review the show over the weekend. It's just that I got other things on my priority list. I got bills, folks. I got to make this money. Keep the chats going. I'm still here. Oh, man. Are y'all even excited about Sisters coming back, or are you just indifferent to it? It was the scene where Geneva was walking through the back alley to go inside of a building, and then you hear Tyler saying, "All right, action." Indifferent. Yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at. I'm like, hey, the show's back. I just know that I have to endure Jasmine getting shot again because they're going to do that recap of what happened last season. So, see, here's the thing: Tyler did right. There have been so many different projects released between Sisters finale to where it is now. Coming back next week, we've had movies, we've had shows. It's been a great, and not to mention the show's been gone so long. I don't honestly think I've seen that many people saying they missed the show. I've seen a lot of people saying, I'm not going to watch it. Jeremy, I want to wait for your review. I want to see those babies are going to be born, and then that's it. But like I said, they are going to stretch this out. If you are fooling yourself if you think that just because Karen's water broke in the season finale, we're going to see her give birth in episode 1. Folks, I am telling you, that is not the case. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say she might not even make it to the hospital on episode 1. That might be the cliffhanger because we know Fatima has to drive her there. I mean, we know there's 2 more seasons left at least. We know season 9 and season 10. I don't know if 10 is the finale. And those scenes are still going to be there. Like, trust and believe, I wish some of these shows would work on the pacing, but they're going to stretch out these scenes because they need to make it a 40-minute episode. 4 or 5. I don't know about all that. That's wishful thinking as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, see, Melrose, that's the issue. That's the issue. During this hiatus period, because we've gotten so many different shows now and the pacing has been better, it's going to make Sisters seem slow by comparison. Beyond the Gates, Divorced Sisters. I know, right? He's Malachi. And Rebecca, what they're going to do, and I have no doubt about this. Remember before season 8 came on, I said, I wonder if the first half is going to be focused on the Gary stabbing, and then the back half is going to focus on Karen having the babies. But instead, all of season 8 was about that damn stabbing. All of season 9 is going to be about these babies. Trust me, I know it. All this entire season, the first half is going to be about the birth. The back half is going to be about the aftermath. That is my theory. And that's the thing. It's like, I wish my Beyond the Gates content got Sisters numbers. If it did, oh man. But it doesn't, sadly. I mean, it does pretty well. I make consistent money on my backup channel, but the House of Pain stuff goes crazy. And the sister stuff does okay. Like, I'm really curious to see if my sister's content is going to do well when it comes back next week, because the show's been gone long. There is some anticipation. I'm just like, it's another show, because like Melrose said, when you got shows like Beyond the Gates and to an extent Divorced Sisters, this show just feels mediocre. It does. Oh, Geneva, thank you for the Cash App. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, and if you want to donate, the Cash App is right there in the top chat. I got to buy groceries this weekend, so if it's $2, $5, whatever, it helps. Trust and believe, it does. I do appreciate it. I just can't believe we're already in the 7th month of the year. This is crazy. Do you think one of them babies? Yeah, I think one of the babies is going to die. I think it's Zach's baby. I could be wrong, but that's if I was like Joe in that casino, put 5,000 on Zach's baby dying. Put 5,000 on it. That would be me. I would put money on that. Look, Montel, a couple of the cast members of Assisted Living, and I mean a very small number of fans. Jeremy, would you review the show? And I've said this many times. Personally, I think Assisted Living is low key one of the best Tyler Perry shows on right now. But no one gives an F about the show. And by that, I'm talking about my content. Whenever I do a review for Assisted Living, it barely gets any views. It might get a couple hundred views, if that. And translated into ad revenue, that's like a couple of dollars, literally. And it's like, why would I do a review of Assisted Living when I could just put together a Laura video for House of Pain and get like several thousand views? So trust and believe. I like Assisted Living, but it doesn't have the fan interest. But I would agree that if he brought back Meet the Browns, it would do numbers. See, I said the same thing. Homecoming, the opening scene where Brown sets himself on fire, that was the only part I laughed at. And I was low-key nervous when this movie started off with those carjackers getting set on fire. I'm like, this scene is hilarious. I've watched it 4 times, but I hope that this isn't the funniest scene in the movie. No, this movie overall had a good mix of storytelling and laughs. Yeah, this year's flying by. Yes, bring back Meet the Browns. I have really been enjoying. Yeah, the storylines have been great. Like Leah's pregnant now. Again, yes. But like I said, I enjoy Sister Living, but no one watches. Here's something I will pop. Well, then again, the show is on hiatus now. So, yes, I know Nicole choking Leslie was wild stuff. Here's what I might do, and this is a huge might. I might do an assisted living video, but then post it on my second channel. If it does well over there, then I might start doing it, like with Beyond the Gates. I think that the algorithm, honestly, though, part of me wonders if I had kept reviewing Beyond the Gates on this channel up until the anniversary, would the views have gone up? But then again, I think it's better to have 2 separate channels that are thriving, because that's 2 methods of ad revenue. So I can't argue with that. What happened to him doing the you're talking about Mabel on Showtime? I have no idea. Ruthless TV made an interesting video. She literally said, I quit watching Ruthless because Daikon got killed off screen. I don't know what happened to Mabel. I don't know. I just feel like that show was just dead in the water. Well, yeah, some people, I think somebody on Instagram commented on my post. They're like, yeah, Madea needs to retire. I don't think so. I think this movie was good. It's just like my favorite Madea film is Witness Protection, which is an unpopular opinion, but I just love that movie. Yeah, Daikon got killed off screen. I don't know all the details. I know Ruthless TV did a video about it, and I was like, oh, damn, because she literally said, you're probably wondering why I stopped reviewing the show, and this is why. And that's crazy work. Hey, thank you, Miriam, for the Cash App donation. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And just so y'all know, I got like on my second channel, I have like 40 plus videos I have not edited. On my main channel, I have about like 45 videos I have not. Most are House of Pain though. I got some Sistas content that I have been holding for months, but I need to put it out before the show comes back. I was waiting because I'm like, let me wait until Sisters is getting an ad run. That way I can, maximize the algorithm to my advantage, because I'm glad I don't use AI at all, because I did see the reports about YouTube changing the rules where it's going to not monetize content that is like AI voices and whatnot. So that's one thing I'm thankful for, where you can still use AI tools, but I'm like, I'm going to not do that in the off chance that channels abuse it and then YouTube cracks the whip. So what is it, next Tuesday? So because I've noticed that too, when you go on YouTube and you type in something, more often than not, one of the top 5 or 7 results will be an AI channel, and that's crazy work. Do you think Divorced Sisters will come back? It had the highest viewed premiere ever on BET Plus. They're getting a season 2. I wish you would bring Madea's other kids up in the movies. And that's like play continuity. One of the rather unique films. Yeah, it really is. I mean, it felt different, It wasn't just the same old, same old. I think that aside from Joe and Madea, it was all original characters. And I know that's probably off-putting for some, but to have a white family living with Madea and Joe, that was just an interesting dynamic. I mean, you had Romeo in there, you had James from Good Times, and it was a pretty interesting movie. It was different, It was different. I don't know what he was on when he made that film, but I enjoyed it. I know Tyler himself said once that Class Reunion is like his least favorite play. That is one of my favorite plays he did. Look, I am not going to sit up here and try to explain the Madea family tree, but God knows the continuity makes 0 sense. Y'all got any weekend plans? I think tomorrow I'm just going to trim around the house with the weed eater, and aside from working, of course, getting these videos done, getting some well, no, I listed about 80 items on eBay tonight, and I'll let people hopefully put in offers or buy it now. So all the money I can make helps. I don't get paid from YouTube until the 21st, so I got another full week. Hey, I got somebody else that like Destination Wedding. It's a classic. Yep. Oh, I didn't know there were 2 different versions of Class Reunion. I just know the one that's on DVD. He should bring back Love Thy Neighbor. Yeah, I know that's kind of a niche show, but I've seen fans who want to see it back. I kind of fell off halfway through season 2. I know my mom loved it. I like season 1, but I don't know. I just fell out of it at some point. Okay, yeah, I've never watched the plays on BET Plus because, well, I've watched them countless times on DVD, so I haven't really had the desire. Part of me feels like that'll be a fun side quest at some point. Do like a review series on the old Tyler Perry plays just for fun. It will be, I'll probably do what I usually do where I score them. But the thing is, for as good or bad as some of the plays were, they're classics. I mean, the only play I remember saying, like, I am not watching this crap again was Aunt Bam's Place. That was the most disappointing one ever. Yes, bruh, that last season of Bruh was excellent. And I'm pissed off that it's gone. It's not been officially canceled, but there's been no reports of it being brought back. So yeah. I think the Joe's College Road Trip, that one is probably coming out in 2026. They were low key setting that movie up in this film. I don't think All the Queen's Men is ending. I know that Christian Key said like the future of the show, spin-offs and things like that will be on a different platform. So I can't sit up here and say that All the Queen's Men is ending. It's just that the future of the show is probably not going to be on BET or BET Plus. Yeah, Daddy's Little Girls. That's a good one. Well, that's like a Tyler Perry film as opposed to a Madea film. A Madea film. Oh man, that's what's pissing me off. You're announcing all these new shows. You're bringing back all these shows. You're giving us these movies, but you can't give us like one more season of bruh just to wrap it up. Like, if you don't want to give us a full season, at least give us like 10 episodes to wrap it up. I can't sit up here and say that I remember the Why Did I Get Married films. I just know the dinner table scene, and that's it. I don't even know if I watched the second through. I don't think I have. Yeah, one of these days I need to do like a throwback, like, review series. That would be fun. I don't think he sold it. I think he probably just got pushed from the table of All the Queen's Men. I honestly don't follow the show like that, so I couldn't tell you. No, because I have not watched the episode. I just talked about the fact that that scene where people hear Tyler Perry, that's the only thing I talked about. I do respond to the comments on my reviews though. Some people feel Divorce Sisters is bad. Overall, I've seen positive reception for it, even though there are those who just don't think it's good. I do. Family That Prays is a classic. That's like the precursor to the haves and the have nots, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, both of those films are underrated. Um, Dang, I'm just sitting here wondering, like, anything else y'all want to talk about before we wrap it up? We had a good live, I think, for the most part. Aside from a couple of glitches here and there, there haven't been too many issues. But yeah, anything else y'all want to talk about before we wrap things up? Yeah, that's the thing. Divorced Sisters feels like, they're ramping up the maturity. What was the other case? Another person's come forward saying that their situation that happened with the VP of Tyler Perry Studios and an alleged cover up. Um, I honestly couldn't tell you if season 10 is the final season. Yeah, Geneva's a mess. I hope Gary's not in how good and well he is. I am curious to know what his dynamic is going to be with Andy in season 9. Because remember, there was like a 1 month time skip and they hadn't interacted until they were both in the office being held at gunpoint. So goes out with a bang. I hope that doesn't mean everybody dies because that would suck. Here me go. Do you think with everything that's coming out was I mean, if more cases come out and it leads to Tyler being quote unquote canceled, that is going to lead to a whole lot of money being lost because think about how much he and his studio puts out there for Viacom and all these forms. So I feel like there would have to be way more allegations or a case that sticks before anything gets canceled of his. That's just my thought process, at least based off what we know now. Yes, I did. Different World reboot. Yeah, bang was the wrong word. We don't need to see everybody getting shot. Yeah, keep the chats coming if you got any more questions before we round it out. Like I said, thanks for the Cash App donations. This will be used towards groceries this weekend. Because thankfully, I don't really have to go anywhere. Oh, yeah, praise God. Went to the dentist yesterday. No cavities. Because I thought I had a cavity like right here on one of my front teeth, but the dentist said, and they literally took one of those tiny cameras and showed me a picture. That's not a cavity. You're just seeing like the small gap between your teeth because you've been flossing so well, you can finally see the separation of the teeth. And I'm like, oh, so that dark spot is where you've been flossing. So good job. So yeah, but they had to take x-rays because I was overdue, and that sucks because I was an extra $100. Being self-employed means your insurance options aren't that great. So I do have insurance, but I don't really know if Penelope's been brought up in conversation because the sisters have been kind of doing their own thing for the past couple seasons, to be honest. I know that I am not going to like episode 3 because it's going to be Sabrina focused, and I do not care. I would say the only thing about Destination is that they assumed was Tiffany was getting cheated on. Never question or answer. Yeah, not to mention number one, they pointed out how she looks older. I knew from the jump. I'm like, okay, this has to be his mom or maybe older sister or something. That's why I said in my review, I'm like, Tiffany assumed Xavier was cheating. Then she walks up and overhears him talking to her dad and then says, I'll marry you. But it's like, did you ever get confirmation that it wasn't another woman he was with? It was his mom. And I guess we're under the assumption that she has never met Xavier's mom because of her reaction, because she literally said, "You're cheating. Mom, you were forcing me into this to get that money." I low key don't think it would make any sense for Sabrina to be pissed. Oh my God, you're having sex with the woman who's been mean to my best friend. If What would Rich care for? He doesn't. I mean, he already doesn't like Andy because A, she broke his friend's heart, Jordan, and B, all of the stress that's been going on due to Andy and her relationship to Gary has been stressing out his woman Sabrina. So he would not care if Penelope, because keep in mind, Rich has known Penelope since they were younger. They said this in the finale because obviously Jordan is the key between those two. So Sabrina could be upset, but Rich doesn't have to give a damn due to the fact that, well, they're not a thing anymore. I'm glad they brought up. Yeah, yeah, I said that too. I'm glad they brought up the drug addiction. Like she's walking around acting all high and mighty, and it's like we knew you when you were at the crack house. Shut up, and you were light skinned. I'm just kidding. I know they switched actors, but still. Hmm, hmm, hmm. Also, I appreciate those donating outside of YouTube. Like you can hit the super chat, but YouTube takes a chunk of it. But when you donate via PayPal or Cash App, YouTube does not get that money. Like if you donate, they'll take a chunk of it. I'm like, really? Come on now. That's messed up. Then Sabrina asking Rich, why would he choose Penelope? Why do you care? That's my thing. You said, let's see other people. You're the one who came to drop off the rest of his stuff unannounced at his job. Just shut up. I don't care. And I'm mad that Rich went after her ass. Like there was no reason for him to run after Sabrina. I'm surprised how the fans are treating Miranda when Calvin was practically partially blamed for them having a divorce. The House of Pain fans are really fickle. It's like I get Laura is meant to be the person to hate now, but let's not forget Miranda was doing the most for like the first 3 seasons of the reboot. Yeah, the Madea movie came out last night. What was it? Or 3 a.m. on Eastern time. I watched it like 10:30 to about 1ish. I watched it at like 1.5 speed, but then I paused it. I actually had to rewatch several, like when Brown got tackled on the plane. I'm about to blow it up. Got knocked right out of his boots. He's like, Brown, you're leaking, Brown. Like, y'all got any wipes? That was funny. I think Brown was the funniest character in the movie. Yeah, it's either Karen or the baby or the babies in terms of like Miss Lisa comforting, her. Yeah, Calvin was really mean. Yeah, the bachelor party scene was great. Yeah, this is a movie I'm definitely going to rewatch at some point, probably sooner than later. Put it on the card. Yeah, it's all fun and games till the bill comes up. Like, that woman handed Brian a freaking dictionary. Like, it was that thick of a bill. Yeah, that's how I felt. I needed something to make me laugh. Yeah, he allegedly slept in the guest room, but he came in and it was a whole bunch of wild stuff. Yeah, I talked about the lawsuit stuff like 30 minutes ago. Okay, well, folks, we had a good time tonight. Good conversation. Got to do this live stream on my other channel sometime as well. But I appreciate y'all for coming out. If you don't hear from me again, you're going to hear from me on Wednesday because we're back in the Sistas saddle. I'm going to watch it live tweet, and then live stream directly after the episode. You know how I get down here. But thanks so much. And like I said, if you're curious about my Beyond the Gates content, it will be coming out probably over the weekend. I know I'm late, but I'll get it done. And have a good night. Have a great weekend, and I'll catch y'all later.